O'clock, and we'll call the meeting of the Lenawee County Veterans Affairs Executive Committee to order. Roll call, Ted Crockett present, John Saxton present, Todd Goldman present, Mike Shadbolt present. We also have Commissioner Collins, the Veterans Affairs staff, Chris, Tammy, and Tim. I would entertain a motion to approve the agenda for the March 13th, 2026 meeting.
Crockett motions to approve the agenda.
Second. Second.
Got a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same. Approval of the minutes for the January 16th, 2026 meeting. I will entertain a motion to approve the minutes of that meeting.
Crockett motions to approve the minutes from January 16th.
Okay, we got a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed, same. Item number 4, the Director's Office Activity Report.
Okay, the report of activities report includes January and February. So the intents are the forms we fill out prior to doing the claim. It holds the effective date while the veteran or other survivor is gathering their evidence so that we can put the claim in. So there were 43 of those. However, attorneys they're actually claimant representative forms. There were 40 of those. Actual compensation claims filed, there were 17. Federal burial allowances, 15, which seems like a high number. So with the new automated system that the VA has in place, if they're aware, if a veteran's claim is 30% or higher, the dependent is recognized. And so the VA does an automated payment, but anybody rated less than they are unaware, so we have to actually do the federal burial allowance. And with the automated system, when the veteran holds the 100% rate for 10 years or more, he can die from a non-service connected cause, so they get the $2,000. If VA is unaware if the death is service connected or not, if it's short the 10 years, they may not get the $2,000, so we have to file for the extra allowance for the $2,000. And for, let's say, the ones who do get the $2,000, the system does not recognize the travel allowance, the pickup from the hospital or the pickup from the home to the nursing home or to the funeral home and then to the final resting place can be counted if the veteran is in receipt of benefits or he goes to a national cemetery. So if the spouse doesn't get a hold of us and she gets the automated payment thinking I'm good, we like to go back in after to collect the travel pay. So that's an extra form. That's why those numbers are kind of high. We appreciate the automated system because it gets the checks out to them right away. It just doesn't, the system doesn't recognize the travel. And the funeral homes have, they're in the habit of saying included. So then we got to call the funeral home and say, can you break out the travel pay for us? So that we can go after that expense to collect some money for the surviving spouse. Let's see, so DIC benefits is dependency indemnity compensation for our surviving spouses. Between those 2 months, there were 7 of those. We did 49 statement supported claims. We use the statement supported claims to give additional stories about the claim. We asked the veteran to complete one for disability so that VA gets a better understanding of what the claim is about. And it's kind of like a go-to form when there is no other form. So we always have high numbers of those. Headstone applications, we had a couple of them that weren't interested in Headstone application because they were holding on to the cremains. So we still did the Presidential Memorial Certificate for them. So there were 14. There is one called the supplemental claim. We use it for reconsideration when we went to asked VA to review the new evidence to reconsider the decision. We also used that form to reopen a previously denied claim. And so there were 16 of those. And we also did 2 direct appeals to the board. Transport of the DAV shuttle between Adrian and Ann Arbor, we do pick up along the way. There were 23 passengers between those 2 months. Intakes, claims developments, 139, file reviews, 104, and claim status. Seems like we get a lot of calls or stop-ins. Can you check on my claim? Or I got this letter. I don't understand it. We got to get in the system and interpret the letter for them. So 131 for that. And we do, because the grant asked us to track the 70-plus veteran group. And so there were 23 70-plus groups. And in this time frame, we didn't have any females. Would you like me to go on to the, okay. The burials for the last 2 months that are reporting this month were 6. One was of a Korean era. 4 were Vietnam, and we had a Vietnam era spouse. The spouse of a veteran is eligible along with the surviving spouse. So $300 for a county burial. So the totaling of $1,800. You want me to go on to the meetings? Occurrence reports?
Yes.
So these are current reports, could be committee reports. Okay, so January 20th was the Human Service Building Department Head meeting. We go around and give updates about the building. We give updates about our department. And then on January 22nd was the quarterly department head meeting at the courthouse, where the administrative staff gives us current updates. And then each department gives an update concerning what's going on in our department. The February 6th was the Leno Wayne Human Services collaborative meeting. The topic was the Great Start collaboration. It was well attended. And then just to let you know that on February 10th, we did receive our grant approval finally, but we do not have the money yet. We got the signed agreement and we got the forms that need to be filled out for our quarterly reports. And so the option number 2, I reworked that 4 times. Yeah. But there was an option number 1 that was already approved before they decided not to go with that plan. Yeah. And so under the new option that we went under, CNC estimates or the quotes were outdated. I had to get with IT and they did update the quotes for us. And now we are ready to put the requisitions in. COC meeting. Chris, do you want to talk about your COC meeting? But you will.
Just the monthly meeting about the status of the people and the homeless people in the community.
And then February 27th, I met with the administrative Murphy. We had employee evaluation. She did mine that day, and then I turned in the evaluation for the staff. Let's see. March 11th, Tim, do you want to give an update on the Veterans Treatment Court?
I think currently right now, Veterans Treatment Court, I think they have 3 or 4 veterans. This last meeting, they only had 2 that were there at the time. So I believe they have about 3 or 4 in the program. You know, And it just varies on where they're at right now, I think we understand it, like addiction and things like that, it can be a struggle sometimes for them. So, I think we just have to, root for them and encourage them to continue to work on what's kind of bothering them and get that out. So, but other than that, most of them are doing pretty good and keeping on track and kind of following the directions they're supposed to, so.
Here we go again. So, March 12th, I think Chris got more of this meeting than Tim did because Tim was busy with clients. The Lenawee by name, and I think Ted is on that too. So if you guys want to give an update on that, the committee meeting.
For Lenawee by name, we cover all the homeless veterans in the county. I don't have an exact number, but right around 8 or 10, but all of them currently housed at this point in time and no veterans at the shelter.
So I also want to give you the heads up notice that next month, there is the Michigan Association of County Veterans Council Spring Conference. That will be, I didn't bring that with me. I got to look on my calendar. April 20th through the 24th. It will be in Belleville, Michigan. It's at Shannon Creek Resort. And that's the spring conference is where we get our continuing eds. So, and it's an annual basis that we go, but it's not at the same location, but we get our continuing eds at that conference. Just giving you the heads up, seeing that we don't have a meeting next month, that the department will be closed during that week. And that's all I have, unless somebody else has something to add or has a question.
Okay, we'll move on to item 5, existing business. Seeing none. Item 6 is new business. Also seeing none, we'll move on to item 7, commissioner comments.
Don't have much to say for commissioner comments. Things just going down well. However, last Saturday, the commissioners met in these chambers to establish a strategic plan. Went through a full day exercise, and now the information's gone to the person who supervised the plan, draw it together, submit it, and then we will have a goals and objectives and plan from the county. That's about it.
Okay, thank you, Commissioner Cowan. Item 8 is the Michigan Veterans Trust Fund update. We had 7 cases that we've gone through since January. And there was one posted last night that I haven't really had a chance to look at yet, but there was none from Lenawee County. And that's really all I got on that.
From the MVAA, do we anticipate any changes coming down to us with the leadership changes there?
No, I mean, their policies and stuff, we kind of mirror their policies, and they haven't really changed anything. But there was a regional meeting in Monroe. It was in February. I can't remember the exact date. I couldn't attend that meeting. It was really crummy weather that morning, and I wasn't going to drive all the way to Monroe to sit in on a meeting that was probably going to last about 45 minutes and risk my life and limb, because it was really nasty that morning. But I did get some feedback from Lyndall Holmes, Veterans Affairs Director. And he said there really wasn't any policy changes. They're probably going to next year or this fall, they're probably gonna up the amount, the dollar amount at which you can your cutoff point. Okay, you make this much money, and then you're eligible for a grant, and they're discussing whether to raise the amount. But, you know, there's nothing, you know, there's nothing in stone right now that they're going to do that. It's just going to be a discussion amongst the Board of Trustees and stuff up there in Lansing. That's really all I got on that. We'll go on to, item 9, the Veterans Relief Fund, review of VRF applications.
We had an application in January and was approved for $1,575.47. Another application submitted in February, and that was approved for $4,378.72. And currently, we do not have any in the pipe.
I just want to make a clarification in the members on the top there. And that's all the members unless myself as member. Just a clarification, I'm not a voting member of this committee.
Crockett motions to adjourn.
Second.
Aye.